ENACT Systems is a cloud platform for smart energy projects, solar, storage, and a lot more. As we all know, it's an exciting space to be. Solar is probably one of the fastest growing industries globally in spite of COVID. And it's an exciting time in our industry, especially in the US, with lots of policy changes ahead, which will promote faster adoption of such solutions. We are a cloud platform for such projects. ENACT offers a software solution that is being used for the entire life cycle of the project. What's very unique about ENACT is that it's a single cloud software that's used to not just design a project remotely and sign up contracts, but also to manage the execution of the project, including the life cycle of such assets, which is a long period of time. Solar panels are generally warranted for 25 years, and customers therefore enjoy the benefits for a long period of time. So it's a single platform that keeps track of your savings, your outcome, and connects all the stakeholders therefore on the same platform. So the installer, the customer, and various other stakeholders that impact a project. So my goal was today to share some more highlights of what the platform does and the value of such a platform to the industry of solar and storage providers, especially in California, where we are today. Real quick, just to kind of give you on some information on where is ENACT being used first. We are now, of course, very active, not just in California, but other states in the US and international. We have launched the platform in 2015, and now on our 5th year, we are being used in 15 countries across, of course, not just North America, but Asia, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Some of our largest customers include, for example, Black Veatch now using ENACT in 6 countries, with the entire sales teams and ops teams using ENACT for their projects. And similarly, we work directly with end customers as well. We'll talk about that later today. And large end customers include corporate building owners like hotel chains, REITs in the US and abroad. And they get a lot of benefit from our data. And similarly, internationally as well, like Emaar is one of the world's largest real estate companies, and we have at least 3 malls now that were solarized using ENACT, and now they're measuring their savings on ENACT. Last but not least, we have partnerships with manufacturers as well as financiers. A good example is Jinko Solar is our energy storage partner, now launching storage in the US market for homes. This was announced at SPI, and they're using the ENACT platform now for every battery, a Jinko battery sold in the US, where the homeowner gets the app, and it's a lot of interesting features. So let me dive into the product and why is ENACT becoming so popular, especially in the US context. So I want to focus today on the US market. The US market, as you know, is largely controlled by small and medium installation companies. The largest players, of course, like Sunrun and Teslas of the world, are not winning market share. They've been shrinking on the market share. On the other hand, thousands of small companies really are winning the game. And such companies are really being empowered by our platform. There's a lot of challenge in getting solar done right. Soft costs are huge. At least 50% or so of the total deployment cost in the US is soft costs. And so I want to talk about how we are attacking this through our platform. So ENACT has 2 sides. ENACT has really very complete end-to-end software solution for installers to develop new projects, all the way from design to execution. And then ENACT offers the end customer a powerful app to measure the results. I want to give you some glimpses of what does ENACT do for installers. Envision is really being used by thousands of users to do that. And normally Envision is about designing a project remotely. So starting from a location using the map, a Google image to size a system with the right hardware, estimate the savings. We do a lot of detail analysis now for such types of projects, including load analysis. We have all the electric rates for the property on the software, and you can estimate the electrical utility savings down to dollars and cents before and after solar. And then we can also do pricing. This is very unique. We don't think any other software offers a level of depth in pricing down to line items of product, hardware and margins for labor and services. as well as financing integration. So in minutes, you can create very complete proposals, which are bankable, which are correct in terms of the outcome. And it goes into not just solar, but also storage. So on the right, you see we project now the combination of solar and storage on a property. It's a very fast growing space, and especially driven by the wildfires in California and some other trends, we're seeing a rapid uptick in the number of solar customers who are buying storage. And they're interested in knowing what's the financial savings beyond just the backup power value. And there are savings to be had. So the proposals would take minutes to develop. Similarly, more detailed proposals for cash flows on financial projects can also be done on the same software. And that leads to trust. It leads to faster closings. It definitely leads to, we call it sales cycle shrinkage. The sales cycle shrink. Faster deal closings means faster cash flow. And then execution is also mapped on the same platform. So the entire journey of the customer, right, can be tracked from their first meeting to their contract signing all the way to permit approvals and build out with dates, documents, timelines, all on the system. So this keeps the customer experience organized. We have found that, with the whole COVID shift, the people who are developing these projects are working remotely. And even customers are engaging remotely on Zoom, just like you and I today. And they want to know how are things going on their projects. Commercial customers have seen delays in permitting. It's becoming very valuable for them to have a system to track all of this, which is transparent, independent, and of course, helping the businesses that are paying for the platform. So we have a lot of reporting and dashboards that help customers and keep tracking of their progress. And that was a glimpse of Envision, right? So installers benefit, developers are growing their business leveraging our platform. I will now show you a little bit on the end customer experience. So if you are a homeowner or a business owner getting storage and solar on your property, you want to know what is it doing for you, dollars and cents. ENACT has done the hard work of connecting with all the different manufacturers out there, whether it's a solar edge inverter or Enphase inverter, or whether it's a sensor on your system, whether it's a Tesla battery, whether it's a sensor. We have integrated with all of the hardware players so that now once the system is deployed, we know live every 5 minutes what's going on that actual site, right? So we are not monitoring it. We're connected with the monitoring company and getting the data into a cloud. And now we can tell you on one glimpse, what's the real savings on the site, adjusted for the consumption, adjusted for the electric rates. So it's a very simple way to tell them the single source of truth. Of course, real life savings is different from all the projections. Electricity rates have gone up. PG&E raised 8% the rates last month, and we didn't know that number 6 months ago, right? So the savings actually may be better than what we had thought earlier. Similarly, consumptions change all the time. Especially for commercial customers, it's a great way to keep track of the actuals versus projections. The platform, of course, publishes a live power flow view. So it tells you live, when's your battery charging your home? Is it enough in terms of charge levels to withstand a power outage? Let's say there's a PG&E outage, how many hours of power do you have left? And we offer complete fleet view to the installers as well. And it's agnostic to the battery. We connected to different battery solutions like LG Chem and so on that can be powered. The homeowner gets a very nice view of their power flow. They can see, in fact, how much charge they have left live, which is interesting in terms of predicting also, right, when they need services. So that was a long introduction to engage in ENACT Envision. As a company, we believe in partnerships. We are trying to make sure that all the data is in one place and secure. We have integrated our platform to many third-party solutions like CRM and accounting software, like different types of imaging providers and business apps. So companies that pay for ENACT, it's just one bill, it's one license, and we are taking care of the backbone. So my last slide today was, again, ending with the impact, right? So we started the call today with what's the challenge? 50% of the deal is soft costs. And that chunk of soft costs is really a lot of things, right? It's definitely customer acquisition costs, transaction costs, supply chain, as well as the labor and delivery costs, right? We are impacting all of these aspects. And the only way you can reduce all of them is if you have one platform. We challenge the idea that you could have three different solutions for three different things in the company. It's not feasible for companies to have one system for sales, another system for operations, and a third system for project management. So we have one platform. It works well and scales. We're seeing faster conversion cycles using digital proposals. We're also seeing faster sales because referrals are much more higher value. When a homeowner sees the life savings being met, they love it. And they tell their friends, look, I just saved exactly what they told me. And that gets the installer a much higher quality engagement with their customers. That's really the biggest driver. The second is, of course, the integration, right? We have connected with all the hybrid assets. We know how these assets perform. So when you sell on ENACT, when you project a certain savings, we can get you the right projections because we know how these assets do. We're independent. We're not the manufacturer of the inverter. And that's a big deal. And then third is the workflow, keeping track of all your tasks, documents, and timelines in one system so that installers look good, they keep up with their promises, right? COVID has hurt the permit cycles in every city now. We're seeing delays in pretty much every city in terms of getting the permits approved. And then installation has hurdles in terms of scheduling, and yet projects are getting built. And Calcia just published results for Q4 that the sales in Q4 for solar in California was higher than Q4 of 2019, in spite of COVID. That's amazing. But that's also because companies are working very hard. Through the holidays, we work through Christmas and New Year too to support our customers. And we think that they all deserve systems that reduce their overheads, reduce their downtime, and improve their, let's say, work-life balance. All of us are working from home. We have place to meet. So looking at a dashboard digitally, looking at data live, collaborating with everyone, that's really the future ahead. So with that, I would like to end my presentation and would love to have questions from the audience on how can we help if there are any solar installation companies on the call or even end customers looking to get their solar on their homes or buildings. We would love to service your needs and work together with you. And Thomas, over to you.